Now, the Bank of England's decision to create electronic money, so-called quantitative easing, was supposed to inject new life into the British economy. But what we didn't know until today is that it's actually benefiting the wealthiest, and ordinary pension funds have been badly hit. Well, here's our economics editor, Faisal Islam, to explain. Faisal.
Well, Kathy, quantitative easing has never been easy, but it is important. It did save the economy from a bigger slump, says the Bank of England, but it also massively redistributed amongst British households like nothing else. It's loosely referred to as printing money, and in general, it has boosted the economy by up to £800 per person, the bank's report found today. But that's created losers as well as winners. And who benefits the most? The wealthy. Because this policy has boosted the price of British assets, that's shares, property and pensions, by over a quarter. So the wealthiest 5% of the public, who own 40% of Britain's non-pension assets, have benefited by far the most. Their financial wealth tens or even hundreds of thousands of pounds larger than if there'd been no QE. Meanwhile, the poorest half of the population don't have property or savings, so would not have benefited and will now have to pay even more to get them. It certainly doesn't seem to be a Robin Hood policy. Today's report was designed to defend the bank against charges that QE took disproportionately from retiring pensioners. The bank calculates that what's lost in low rates is gained in inflated fund and house values, and this infuriated pensions campaigners.
What the bank's analysis has done is missed the impact that the policies it's pursuing has had on this particular group. 21 million people, over 50 in the economy, all of them at risk of having a lower income in future.
But a different stark admission did come from the bank's analysis of the impact of 4 years of record low interest rates of 0.5%. Savers had lost £70 billion in interest income from these cuts. Meanwhile, borrowers had gained £104 billion in lower interest payments from the cut, almost all of that going to those on variable rate mortgages. You can see why many in Britain feel prudence is being punished to bail out borrowers. Kathy.
Thanks, Faisal. Quantitative easing is hard to do as it is to say, I reckon.